Hi, and welcome to Reality Check.
Do that again. We have a typo on signs that looked really bad.
I mentioned it earlier. It's signas of our time. Really?
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to Reality Check. I'm your host, Lou Meyer, and our guests this week are Richard Gill and Gianni Rome. Thanks for coming on, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
This is really excellent. I had the good fortune of seeing a performance these fellas did a few weeks ago at the Off-Center stage, and boy, it just knocked my socks off. And we're fortunate to have them here. They're going to do a little bit of their performance, and we're going to talk to them about how they came up with all this stuff. So, Richard, you pretty much wrote The Signs of Our Times.
Yes, I wrote it, and I did the sculpture that goes with it.
Oh, you did all the sculpture as well?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's been a long process, and I would bring it out, and then I would do a performance, no music, and take it back, rewrite a few things, and put it away for a couple of years and bring it out again. And it was during one of the dormant times when I met Johnny, and it just worked.
It's interesting that you say it's like a couple of years, it gets put down and comes back. It's a timeless performance. You know, it's always I should say it's always timely. You know, it just doesn't, you could have done this in the 50s.
Well, actually, I started this project in 2000. That sounds like a long time, and I kept thinking, well, things are going to change, and maybe it won't be right to do it. Well, it just seems to keep going, and the show is timely. In 10 years, and it's still timely.
Well, so what happened? What, did you just wake up one morning and go, I got to say something about war, and I'm going to, make a sculpture and make up a performance?
Well, like most of us, a lot of us, we've had many thoughts and questions about our world at this time, and so I thought, well, I'm an artist, and I make my living as a sculptor and a performer, and I'm going to combine these art forms into one, and say what I've been thinking and what I've been wondering. Say it, and people seem to respond. They seem to feel the same.
It's
it's a question.
It's a riveting performance. Johnny, how did you? So you guys just happened to meet. How did you come up with the music for the show?
Well, it was kind of odd because we were neighbors now. Okay, now mind you, for almost 5 years, and so we lived on the same road. And so I'd see Rich walking up and down the road, and I'd pull down a window and say, "Hey, Rich, how you doing?" And he'd say, "Hey, you got to come over, bring your guitar." And he says, "Yeah." 5 years go by, and one day we meet at we were hanging out at a 4th of July party, and he asked me if I had my guitar, and I played, and then he tried one of his poems, and I jumped in, and it kind of like automatically came together.
Wow.
And so he invited me up, and so we tried a few things, and so we got Signs of Our Times, the first one, and we started working it out, and it started coming.
And I knew what was missing all this time. I knew what was missing, and it was the right music. And so we started working at it, and he wrote the score for this show.
It fits perfectly.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's probably, one of the most interesting things I've done, because what it is I'm working on enhancing his expression of what he's doing with the storytelling and the poetry. So it's like, it's an emphasis. So we've been working on it for, about a year and a half now, and it's come along pretty good, and it's been an interesting situation.
You guys have plans in the works to do more performances, different.
Oh, yes. And we're just now starting to get this out. We're getting a little bit known here at home. This is where we start, and now we've done several things with different churches that this goes well there, and we want to do schools, and we want to do wherever. We want to be able to have people hear this and think about things maybe just a little bit different.
Didn't you perform this for the homeless folks?
Oh, yeah, we did a benefit for Hospitality House, it was about a month or two ago,
Yeah.
and through the auspices of Unity Church, and we held it there and worked well.
How was that received?
Very well, very well. They want us back, a little later, maybe after the first year again.
Wow, it's amazing. Well, why don't you? Jesus, we had a lot. Well, instead of talking about a bunch of stuff, let's see one of the shows.
Okay. This is the title poem that goes with it. It's called "Signs of Our Time." And whenever you're ready, Johnny.
Okay.
Maybe it's time to look for the signs of our time. Where did it start? How will it end? Where are we coming from? How many have it all? And how many more have none? Could this be a sign of our time? It seems, within a century or so, we have come so far from the plodding horse and buggy to the fastest motor car. Trains, planes, rockets to the moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. We're gonna be there soon. Could this be a sign of our time? What did it take to get this far? Have you stopped to think it through? Well, you don't have to stop. You don't even have to think. That's what computers do. Could this be a sign of our time? We drill the ocean's bottom with the fishes and the fowl. Drill some, we spill some, we kill some. We put it in the tank, take it to the bank, clean up the mess and leave the rest. Raise the gas, get the cash. One big laugh. Is this what people do? They take the best and screw you? Or is this just a sign of our time? Factories turn out luxuries for the masses to enjoy. Oh, we kill the trees, pollute the seas, foul the air. Does anyone care? We outsource jobs for lower bids to countries where they work the kids. It's not funny, but it does make money. Is this a sign of our time? Corporate greed trickles down and spreads throughout the land. Well, he got his, and I'll get mine any way I can. Downsizing, crime rising, welfare cheating, healthcare fleeing, cut the schools, raise the fools. Could this be a sign of our Could this be a sign of our time? The Dow closed up, and the Dow closed down. NASDAQ, it takes a dive. Because we got to keep it running, because Jesus is a-coming. Those simple folks are smoking their dope. They're looking for hope. They praise the Pope. They join the cult. It's not your fault. Opinion polls and mind controls fill the jails and kill the males. Lead the dummy and make the money. Do you want some more? Start a war. Is this a sign of our time? Now I've heard it said, the end is nigh with apocalyptic rage. Well, who's gonna write our history books when it's time to turn the page? The hour is always the darkest before the dawn appears. And what is not of love, it's bound to be of fear. So let your rafters ring with laughter. Let music fill the air. Think love. Love thyself, respect thy neighbor, care, share, just be fair. Follow your heart and make a new start. Believe it will be there. But keep in mind to look for the signs of our time. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Johnny Rome.
That was wonderful. And like I said, you could have done this in the 50s. You could have done it now. You could have done it in the 80s. The stock market up and everything, the wars, everything. It's all constantly going on. It's like they,
Nothing changes.
No, and they seem to cycle it through. Oh, it's time for another war. Let's have a stock market crash. Somebody's controlling all that.
Yeah, well, whatever. I just asked the questions.
You're doing a good job of it. That was amazing. So how long did it take you to put that piece together?
Well, actually, that was, it sort of came with the sculpture. I would do the sculpture. In fact, I have a sculpture of three gentlemen around a burning trash can. It's on the homeless. And I become one of the homeless, and it's one of the travesties of our times with the, it's not just bums, like people think, that's just a bunch of bums. It's all kinds of people. The war vets are out there. People that are thrown out of their houses because they couldn't pay the mortgage because of a few unscrupulous people. Children, women, they're all out there today. And we have to say something. In fact, we, whenever we have a chance, we like to do something, do a performance where we can raise money for the homeless. So it's just something we all should lend a hand at.
It's certainly true. It could have happened to any of us. You just don't know. And, one of the things I was talking to one of the fellows the other day about, if the economy collapses, it won't matter whether you have $1 or $1 billion of them. Yeah. The dollar's going to be worth nothing. So all the, the potential is there for everybody to be a homeless person or to be poor or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Many people say, well, it couldn't happen to me. A lot of those people said couldn't happen to them either.
Yeah. Well, this show should definitely be performed wherever you can possibly get in.
Well, that's our goal, and we're starting slow, but it's beginning to work. People are beginning to want us at different places, and a lot of out of town things we're starting to do,
You know, that's really, you know, one of the things you know is that NCTV now, they upload all the shows that are on here onto the internet. So, you know, folks around the world could see your performance.
Well,
A
that's
piece
great.
of it, you know, yeah, and this is the kind of thing, it's entertaining and informative. You know, a lot of people don't want to read the bad news in the paper all the time. They don't want to, you know, constantly hear the news and all that stuff. But if you bring out something like this, it's thought-provoking and entertaining at the same time.
This is the thing we have to do. We have to stop and think a little bit. Think about what's happening. I don't know who's right, who's wrong. I have my opinions, but I'm not voicing those opinions. I'm just asking the questions. I use my sculpture to leave that image, like the homeless. I have these three people, and then the soldier over here. I have that one.
Can you talk a little bit about the sculptures?
Yeah,
What are these created out of?
These are created out of copper. I take a flat sheet of copper and a little imagination and torch,
A little imagine.
and there they are. And if they can say what I mean for them to say, well, take for instance this is called Victory, and I had to do this about war. In fact, do we have time to do this?
Certainly, please.
Actually, this sculpture here is my statement about war. No particular war, just every war that's ever been fought. This is my statement about every man or woman who's ever been lost in a battle, and every family that has been made to suffer that loss. This is about victory. Every victory ever won. Combat weary, sad of heart. Oh, this battle has been won. Many a comrade has fallen to rot neath the rays of the sun. Mighty price has been paid for this far-off stretch of ground. And tomorrow at dawn the forces will group and destroy another town. How many men will be ground underfoot? And how many families must flee? How many times must we witness this scourge before our eyes will see that no matter how far an army may march in response to its leader's call, we may ask the question when those guns grow null. Has there been any change at all? Yeah, thank you.
There you go. You know, it's interesting. In this one, we just recently watched All's Quiet on the Western Front, which is from World War
Classic,
I. And in that, they're going back and forth over the same land, and you wonder who's in charge. You know, the Germans get driven back, and then they're moving forward, and the French come in. And then more recently, well, in World War II, there was a special on where they were talking about Estonia, which was between the Germans and the Polish. So no matter what, the enemy was in town. You know, so the people that lived there suffered the most from all of it.
Yeah, people suffer. People suffer. And, well, I don't know the answer.
It's the end of war would be a good start.
end of all war. It is obsolete, but we don't know it.
No, it's a cash cow, and that, and that to me seems to be what the problem is with everything. And you mentioned that in your first performance. You guys are talking about greed there. Greed seems to be the root cause of just about everything nasty that goes on.
Yeah. Mankind is a beautiful thing, except for the greed, and that brings them down every time.
It's a work in progress. Amazing.
We tell them about a song we wrote for today, and we wrote it just recently.
Yeah.
Tell them about
Well,
it.
it's called "Gotta Get Moving," and one day Rich came up to me and he said one of my little diddlies kind of inspired him, so he goes for walks every morning, and he wrote this song, "Gotta Get Moving," and showed it to me, and I started playing it, and before you know it, it came together. It's another one of those things. It's amazing how sometimes you can really work really hard to create, but sometimes things just come together. And it just happened to be a couple of weeks before we were doing a Capitol Radio interview, and we were able to do it on the air. And it just kind of fits with the whole thing, It's like we got to get going. We got to do something. We have to make change, and that's got to get moving. That's what the song's about. And okay,
play
let's
a
see if
little
we
of
can
that,
pull
yeah.
it off, huh? Okay.
Shake a leg, move a little faster, can't afford to wait much longer. Rising mountain, seas are rising. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving. Gotta stop what we've been doing, driving our will to wreck and ruin, eating too much, spending, screwing. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving. Wake up, brother, time is here. Look to love, not to fear. Nothing appears as it seems. It can change like in a dream. Know what I mean? You know what I mean? Better get your ass around the corner before the world gets any warmer. Diamonds past the rolling clover. Ain't no time to think it over. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving, gotta get moving. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving, gotta get moving. Wake up, brother, time is here. Look to love, not to fear. Nothing appears as it seems. It can change like in a dream. Know what I mean? You know what I mean? Better get your ass around the corner before the world gets any warmer. Diamonds past the rolling clover. Ain't no time to think it over. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving, gotta get moving. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving, gotta get moving. Times are changing, rearranging. Gotta get moving, gotta get moving.
All right. That was excellent. Man,
Well, great.
You guys are excellent.
Thank you.
So what plans do you have for the future now? Are you going to be performing any place soon that people can see you?
Yeah, well, that's, Sunday at, down in Auburn at the, the Unitarian Church.
Unitarian Church.
Unitarian churches are fun to do, and there people Yeah, they were very receptive, you know.
And if people want to contact you, now we just had your email up there. It's gilproductions@yahoo.com.
Right.
And is there, and 272-8966 to call if you like to have you. Do you guys do performances for
We do
people calling?
performances, yeah, and as I say, we're just starting to get this out. So if anyone has a gathering group or something, and they want this, it's a half-hour program, and we can actually do about an hour and 15 minutes with my poetry and with his vocals. But the Signs of Our Time is a little over 30 minutes.
It's a great show. Really great show. I recommend everybody see this. If you get an opportunity, if you see a poster for these guys, you have to check it out. This is just a taste.
Thank you.
An excellent taste. No, thank you so much for coming on. We're running out of time. I want to thank everybody. I thank my crew, Gail, Terry, Tricia, Richard, Sam, Joe. You got Scott. Probably Tricia is probably out there too. Anyway, thanks for watching Reality Check. We really appreciate it. If you or anybody else might be a good guest for the show, you can contact me at loumeyer@nccn.net, and I'll see if I can get you on. Thanks again to Richard and Johnny for coming on. Wonderful show. I think we're going to have Johnny play us out a little bit. And, we're hoping that and pay attention to that compromising the library. They're trying to privatize the library. That's something we should not let happen. Thanks again for watching Reality Check. We're going to fade out slowly.
From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
I hope to continue my work